Hello, good afternoon, to the audience. Thank you very much for being here with me. The point of this presentation is to do a little or an introduction to the matrimony presentation. It is a topic that I've been studying for almost a decade. That question myself, why is it people are not happy, and what do I need to have inside of myself to become the most beautiful person in a relationship? Okay, so that is my question, and this is the result of my research. I've read many books, and I have gathered the information, an introduction to the information here, and I truly hope you enjoy it. Please leave the questions down below on the description box. Leave your comments. I'm glad to hear it, your feedback, and I truly hope it is the goal of my presentation that we all find the love we all need inside ourselves and share it with the world. So. The website that I sell my services, it is reachthedivine.com. You can follow there. I do services in which you can also gonna understand better after or on the way to when I go through the presentation, where I combine the numerology and astrology, the life purposes and the soul purposes with preparing for the matrimony, because all of us, we have different goals in life, and it is smart to be with people that have similar goals so that we can reach the target with cooperation, and that's the goal. Life is about cooperation. So enough about the purpose. Let's go into the introduction, into the content. And why is it that we need to organize ourselves in families? Well, according to the studies that I've conducted, or the books that I've read, we need that intrinsically, because it's through the families that we can satisfy the great majority of our emotional needs. Okay? And what I understood is we all have electricity and magnetism inside ourselves. The women have 30% electricity. Those are the first three chakras, and the males have 70% electricity. Those are the first three chakras, and the magnetism in the male is 30%, and in a woman it is 70%. So it's about giving. The man has the electricity, he gives more, and the woman receives more. Okay? It's very important to understand the concepts of electricity, those two types of energies. And in order to flourish the most, that's the magnetism, what we need to have into place in order to flourish the most of it. And in ourselves, love is the combination of the electricity and magnetism on the fourth chakra. Okay, so going to the second question, what is a family nurtures level? It is, how does a family manage these two energies the best way possible? So basically it is putting the 7 deadly sins into the 7 divine qualities, okay, per chakra, okay, and basically is organizing your thoughts, emotions, feelings, and actions into the best dissonance possible, okay, so that you are stress-free, okay. The more you are able to do this, the more love you're going to have, okay. And according to all the psychologists, we all come from extremely very traumatized families in which it is almost forbidden to express love, and therefore our needs are not satisfied. Okay, so and that's what we are going to work for. We are going to clean our souls by satisfying our needs using the electricity and magnetism. In order to become the best person possible, in order to be ready for the sacred matrimony, we firstly need to be in sacred reunion with ourselves, and then in order to become a sacred union with a partner. Okay, so I have divided the presentation, or the path of the sacred matrimony, into 4 different stages. It's what to do when you are alone, and what to do when you are selecting a partner, what to do when you are doing the courtship, and how to organize your life when you're married. Okay, basically. Okay, so when you are alone, it is better to do the first 3 lessons. The lessons are based mainly on the website from Peter Gerlach. The website is hold on a second. It's s.org, and you can also and follow the presentation by yourself, or do the exercises. However, they are very, very extensive, and you need really to drill down. And with this presentation, I have done a summarized summary in order to go slower and easierly. Okay, so the lesson 1, it assesses yourself for inherent psychological wounds and reduce any you find by freeing your true self to guide you. Okay. The lesson 2, it teaches you to think, communicate, problem solve effectively. And the lesson 3, it's learn about bonding, losses, and healthy grieving, and to grow progressive relationships. And if you realize the words, and I don't know if you are into Buddhism or Hinduism, the true self is actually your higher self voice in you. Okay, so inherent in wounds it's an exercise in which you're going to find. It's an exercise in which you're going to find from the 7 deadly sins which ones are in your actions, and you're going to correct any of them. Okay. And the lesson 3, it is about the 4th chakra, to do grieving. Okay. Okay. So the 3rd stage when selecting is a lesson 4, to learn about relationship basics and optimize your relationships, especially with yourself, and then with others. Okay. And the 3rd stage is the courtship. It's to learn about family basics, evolve into a high nurturous functional family with a lot of love, that everybody knows their function, their role in the family. And lesson 6 is about to learn effective parenting basics, to raise grown, nurtured children. Okay, it is the more traumatized the person is, the less they will be able to love, and more narcissistic they will become. Okay. And the lesson 5 is to how to organize your life when you are married or preparing to get married. Okay, it is basically to apply the knowledge. And what I really liked about the Peter Gerlach's website or his work is that it's based on the Trivium method. He teaches you the grammar, he teaches you the semantics, and then you can do the rhetoric and apply yourself and study on your own. Okay, and really liked it. So, lesson 1. The lesson 1 is divided into 4 different parts. Okay, so you're going to assess yourself for inherited psychological wounds and reduce any by freeing your true self to guide you. So basically, this is about, if you have many voices in your head, you are only supposed to have one. Okay, so you're going to clean and have a conversation with every single voice, which is, according to what Peter Gerlach teaches, is about taking a sub-self out and having a conversation with it in order to trust the manager of personality. In order to do that, he has divided this assessment or this lesson into 4 parts. The first one, you're going to learn about personality sub-selves and grown wooden children, okay, GWCs, and learn about early trauma, personalities, and wounds. The part 2, it's assess yourself and your family for wounds, up to 6 psychological wounds. And the part 3, free your true self and reduce your wounds, evolve and work. An effective plan to free your true self from raising false dominance and reduce your wounds. And 4th, learn how to spot and relate to wounded people. The better you do this lesson, the easier it's going to be to do the other 6 lessons. So this one is the most important. It's not. This is a multi-decade process. It's not. You are not going to do this in 5 minutes, or in 1 year, or in 5 years. You have to be very diligent, okay? And understand that this is the most difficult task you will ever do in your life, okay? But it's the most important in order to be able to become the best person that you ever can be in your life, okay? So, the overview of the lesson 2, it's to teach you to do effective communication and thinking. It is essential for all relationships, families, and organizations. Yet our ancestors and schools don't teach these basic 7 skills. Okay? So this lesson has 4 parts. Basic concepts, what you need to know about communication or communicating. 7 powerful skills. If you can't name and describe these skills, you are not using them. Useful communication tools and resources, and key relationships applications of these basic skills and tools. And the best key to go into this lesson is to be humble, okay? So, lesson 3 overview. It's learn how to do the good grief. This is the 4th chakra. We all have losses, broken bonds throughout our lives. Unawareness and ignorance of healthy mourning promotes incomplete grief. That promotes significant psychological and physical problems like depression, addiction, obesity, and diabetes. These 4 parts show you how to spot and finish incomplete grief and grow into a pro-grief family. First one, basics. What you and your kids need to know about bonding, losses, and healthy grief. And 2, assess yourself for others for incomplete grief. 3, complete any unfinished grief from healthy new bonds and learn to support other grievers effectively. There are many tools to do this. You can also use the meditation tools. These tools from Peter Gerlach are very left side or very structured like an engineer. Okay. Lesson 4 overview. It's to optimize your relationships. The thriving counseling and therapy industry exists partially because millions of people can't get along with or relate to each other. The primary reasons for this are widespread psychological wounds, ignorance of lessons 1 to 4. This lesson provides an effective relationship basics and how to apply them to relationships with yourselves, your sub-selves in a family. Higher power, your family members and adults and kids. To learn what you need to learn about relationships, okay? I would add, it is about self-respect and integrity, okay? And most people don't understand that, okay? Your body is your first private property. Your thoughts, emotions, feelings, and actions are your private property. And they need your body, your soul, your mind, your emotions need to be in security in order to thrive, okay? And that's what these lessons are going to, they are going to give you the instructions to get there, okay? Using the triggering method, okay? So the lesson 4 has 5 sequential parts. The relationship basics, 2, relating to yourself, 3, how to solve relationship problems, primary relationships, divorce, ex-mate relationships, and relating to effectively to a higher power. Lesson 5, overview. Improve your family's functioning. To learn what you need to learn about families, take this quiz parts here. Basic concepts you need to know about all families like yours. Traits of a high nurturing family. And identify and resolve typical problems using the knowledge of skills of from lesson 1 to 4. Yes, you are going to leave by this time in lesson 5. You're going to become sovereign, which means that By this time, you will be able to have already on the 7 divine qualities, and you will be able to have a very good grip of your anger, of your grip, of your fears, of your guilt, and you will find your nurturing point, and you will be able to understand by each situation in your life, am I loving myself unconditionally at this moment? And you will be able to, by knowing the list and very good the theory, by watching the traits or the behavior traits of a person, of a family, you will be able to identify if there is a lot of love, or what is what is this person telling you concerning their inability to love or access that chakra. Okay, so Lesson 6 overview, effective parenting. Lesson 6 covers the normal development needs of typical minor kids. Effective parenting basics, including traits of effective parents, communicating effectively with children and teens, and guidelines for effective child discipline. Most of these ideas apply to effective parenting. Okay? And lesson 7 overview, learn. The sequential parts include learn step family basics, myths and realities, essential courtship education, make 3 informed choices to avoid probably redivorce, step kids, special needs, and effective co-parenting, step parenting and bio-parenting, and avoid or resolve common step family role and relationship problems. So now we are going to go to the part 1. What Peter Gerlachs, before we go there, I want to tell you what he does not talk about. He does not explain how quantum physics exists, how quantum physics work. He doesn't explain that the universe is mental, and it is our consciousness that the universe is mental, and it is organized as probability. So depending, the more you are organized, or the less stress you have in the combination of the 3 parameters, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions, the more probable the things that you think about will happen in your life. That's how the universe works. And according to the physicists, you can go to my YouTube video. I have a summary of the 7 or the 8 taboos between physics, between psychology and physics. Because according to what the physics have understood, physics is time and space doesn't exist. So here and there, here and there doesn't exist. So here is there and there is here. Or yesterday is now and now is tomorrow. Okay. So it seems that when you put two atoms as far as possible, is the same thing as being together, because what happens to one thing, it affects the other. Okay, basically is that. I think it's a 20 or 10 minute summary that I did. It's the summary of the book from Dr. Jerry Croth, in which he talks about the 8 taboos between psychology and physics, quantum physics. It's very, very, very important that you understand the basics, that the statistics of that the universe is statistical. The more positive thinking, the more you can change the reality in your life by having the parameters stress-free: thoughts, emotions, feelings, and actions. Okay. Another thing that he doesn't talk about is astrology, numerology, human design, the Mahadaja, and those are tools that, for example, astrology, you can find what is your which lessons in your life you will have to learn in order to achieve the goal of your soul. In numerology, you can see the purpose, your soul purpose. Okay. In Mahadaja, you can see when is the karma going to affect you more, and how resilient you have to become. And human design teaches you how to use emotions in order to adapt what is the situation telling you. Because we all have emotions within every situation, and by knowing how to interpret it, each emotion is going to allow you to have a better, an easier outcome. Okay? So, Okay, so part 1, learn about personality subselves and growth within children, GWCs, about trauma, early trauma, personalities and wounds. So the purpose is to become from a person that does not have love, doesn't know how to express themselves with love, it is totally distorted, to a person that has love. And to know that, you need to clean your soul, to clean the energies, okay, the electricity and magnetism. Something that I just forgot to say is that when you understand, Tesla said that in order to understand the universe, you need to understand that we are all vibrations and frequencies, okay? We are all like the strings of a guitar. The illusion, the solidity or the material world is actually an illusion. We have to understand that, okay? We are all energy beings. We are all vibrations, okay? So we are all vibrations. This has to go into our head, okay? It means that, for example, when you are next to a person with positive energies, we feel their energy, we are happy next to them. And when we are next to a person that is unhappy, we feel their energy, okay? So the lessons from Peter Garlack, they teach us how to become warm, nice, polite, loving, tender, okay? And that's what we're going to do it. I have to say that he uses a lot of left brain exercises, okay? Very, very intellect, okay? And I truly hope with my feminine energy to teach you what I've done to add my femininity, my magnetism and my knowledge because he does not have all the answers. He has a very good path to go through. But there are a few things that he doesn't talk about. He doesn't talk about sex, because sex is also, it's a way to touch other person's souls, okay? So, let's go to the first part. Part 1, learn about personality subselves and grown within children, GWCs, learn about early trauma, personalities and wounds. This introduction is very theoretical. I would, in your case, hear it very often and then do the assessments, okay? Okay, so what is a grown wooden child? Okay, high nurturing families and organizations display a set of observable traits. A grown wooden child is an adult who survived unintended deprivation of too many of these 30 nurturing factors by their early childhood caregivers, okay? Usually their ancestors were significantly neglected, wounded, and unaware too, and didn't know what to do about it. Family trees show clear symptoms of inherent right, and it's your responsibility to satisfy all of them by your own. You have the electricity and magnetism. Electricity is the masculine energy, so it's the father in you, and the magnetism is the feminine energy, is the mother in you. So you have to go to the wounded child, talk to the wounded child, and solve, because the wounded child was wounded in the first 7 years of their lives, okay? You have to love that child, so you're the manager of a personality, or the mother and the father in you has to love that child, okay? In order for the playful child to flourish, okay? So, and there is a couple that does a very good called Soul something business. They do workshops in Australia or New Zealand. I have the links I did a couple of summaries of what they do in my YouTube channel. And they talk about the left side of a face and the right side of a face. The more symmetrical a person is, it means that the balance of these two energies the equilibrium is very good. And the brightness of the color, the more bright, the more shine the person has, means the more spirit it is inside of them, okay? The more blush, like looks like that, they have less spirit in them. They are not happy people, okay? So going back to the wounds, let me check my papers that I have here. You have to know the needs that were not set, or which needs as a kid were not respected. Security, loving attention, respect, inclusion to feel valued, praised, consistency, encouragement, companionship, guidance, patient instruction, playfulness to feel heard, flexible structure, boundaries, physical contact to test for safety. Well, if any of these needs, the more needs were not respected, the more you need to work on yourself, okay? And understand when a person is not respecting you. So you have to know immediately to know what is integrity and self-respect, okay? Those are the most important. Everything is important, but it's incrementally. So you're going to understand step by step. It's going to be easier for all of us to understand how to become the most loving and the best version of ourselves, okay? So a simple awareness exercise, being in the moment. Most busy Westerners like you aren't trained or motivated to notice the ceaseless flux of what's happening in and around you or me right now. Conscious awareness of yourself and others around you is essential for personal health, effective communication, and our nurturing relationships and families. A simple way to raise your awareness is to stop, breathe easily from your belly versus to your chest, and slowly circle several times through this observation, silently or out loud, without judgment. So, right now, I feel, I see, I feel, I think, I need, I smell. So, he doesn't talk about it. I haven't done yet, but I will. So, most likely, sooner or later, it's going to be on the YouTube channel. Explanations about human design. Human design is a science that allows you to see how your circuit works. How do you see? How do you feel? How do you think? How do you need? And hear and how you smell. Okay, these are all verbs that have different electrical frequencies. Okay, so human design teaches you what is your inner authority, which emotion and which chakra is your inner authority. So you feel certain emotion is telling you an information. Okay, there are four types of aura: manifestors, generators, manifestor generators. Okay, there's a mix of the previous both two, projectors and reflectors. Okay, actually there are five. So for example, I'm a projector. My aura goes into the aura of the other person, and I can feel every little problem that they have. And if I'm very often with them, I become them. So I need to have periods of rest in order to clean my energies. Okay, I'm an emotional projector. Okay. I will do a summary of my own circuit, and I put it on the YouTube channel so that you guys can see how I put together the knowledge from Peter Gerlach and the other exercises in order to get to my highest best self and to fulfill the purpose of my soul. Okay. Concerning the feminine energy, and there were a couple of years that I had my Kato, the head of the dragon. That's the Keto in Vedic astrology. That I will have at the end of my life when I'm around 80 or 90. I don't remember. But the Kato, the tail of the dragon, is about to finish. Concerning myself, it will finish in 1.5 years when I'm about 42. Okay, it's 16 years of my life. That's where I'm getting the hardest karma. So It is the lessons that I'm supposed, the 4 years I've been learning how to become my highest best self, okay? And now the highest best self. So I wanted to say how to become more feminine, okay? So in order to I said that in order to say that I have been many years on my head. So when I was born, I already had my third eye open. That's the pineal gland, okay? I was able to ask a question to the universe, and immediately I had an answer. Okay, do this, follow this, be quiet now. So I only had one voice, and I suffered a lot when I was a child. So as most of the people, when a person says, and Peter Gerlach says that, it really touched my heart, because he's the father I never had. He really teaches you this was not supposed to happen, this is supposed to happen, and he gives you an emotional calibration. Okay, so what is acceptable and not acceptable, and I'm very thankful and that he did his job, and I'm thankful and grateful. So when I was a child, the insult, it's a vibration, okay, it's a frequency, goes inside of you, and it didn't used to hit on any chakra. So it means it was clean, and the energy just went on to the earth. And that's the purpose, okay? As long you are, anything triggers you, you are not sane. You will not be able to be the highest best self, okay? When people tell you something stupid and you get angered, or it triggers you, it means that you have a long way to go. It's only, the purpose is to keep you calm, the neutral point on the atom, okay? And I will also explain that on my YouTube channel, how the atom works. The infinite, you have the infinite symbol, and the middle is the heart chakra, okay? And that's the reason why I chose the hummingbird, because the hummingbird, when they clap the wings, they do an 8, okay? And that also means the 5D. You go, when you have the high spirits, when you have your brain on the gamma wave, that you can access that knowledge, and you are very healthy. So the pineal gland is open. You have 5D and 3D, okay? And if you know your limits or the purpose of your soul purpose, and you are always in high spirits, whatever you think, it will manifest, okay? So think and feel, it is 5D, and action is 3D, okay? So going back to what I feel, I see, we are not taught as women, and that's a very important point that I wanted to talk about. We are not taught as women to be feminine, okay? To be feminine is magnetism, is to enjoy the moment, okay? To enjoy the moment is to feel every millimeter of your body, okay? Every smell, every sound, every what do you feel in the moment? And we women, we are taught to become men, okay? So in order to go back to that tenderness and sweetness, I don't mean being childlike and kindly and childish. I mean giving instructions with love, with tenderness, and say, so in order to get there is a process. And I have a video on my YouTube channel that teaches women how to become more feminine, is to do everyday actions. You fake it until you make it, okay? So in order to get used to the I feel, I think, I need. And for the man, is especially to listen with empathy, so to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes, okay? That's very important, okay? Go down. According to a doctor, a thing that a man can do is to listen with empathy. Okay, it is very important to know the difference between feelings and emotions. And I forgot to feel. I didn't forget. I want to be very accurate. Hold on a second. Oh, I don't have it here. The difference between feelings and emotions. I have on my YouTube channel a little feelings and emotions. Emotions are more crude, and feelings are more subtle. Okay, emotions are more romantic, I would say. Okay, I will pay attention to that, and for the next time I will redo this presentation, I will add this information. Okay. It's very important to know the difference between addiction and conditioning, and this is what we are going to do. Okay, Sam Wagner is the authority on narcissism. He wrote a book called Narcissism, Malignant Self-Love, Narcissism Revisited, and he's a narcissist, but he's honest, and I really like his honesty, and he explains with a lot of academical and intellectual honesty in order for us to all become